Hi, I'm Karina and I'm the face behind Menagerie. I thought that now, given the way that the world is, it will be a better time than ever for me to pull the curtain back and tell you a little bit about my journey, because as we come up to March and nearly 12 months since the first lockdown started, loneliness is endemic. People are feeling more disconnected than ever. We feel a lack of belonging, and we are missing spaces like Menagerie where people come together and share experiences and laugh and have fun with friends and family and that enjoyment of life. So I thought it might be useful if I shared my personal story and one of the times that I've also gone through a situation where I've really been at a very low point and managed to overcome it. So I opened Menagerie in 2016, but the work on it actually started in 2015. And in 2015, I was just coming out of a very difficult divorce, and I turned 30 and suddenly had no job, no purpose in life, and really didn't know what to do next. I'd never felt so low, and I had really low self-esteem. There'd been a lot of negative voices telling me that I really didn't have any value and I was stupid, and that nobody would really accept me in what is a very, very male-dominated industry. And previously I'd opened restaurants and operated them with my then husband, so I did have a vast wealth of experience and I did know what I was doing. But there was just that niggling voice inside of me telling me that I really wasn't good enough and I wouldn't know and I wouldn't be able to do it. But opportunities kept coming my way to go and work for other people or to take on certain job roles, and each time that happened, I kind of knew that ultimately if I accepted that, I would be undervaluing myself and I wouldn't be doing justice to what I can bring to the table. So I felt scared. I felt really, really scared, but I started to visualize what Menagerie would look like, what a space that I created all on my own would look like. And it was a beautiful experience, entertainment, places to have fun, to laugh, to dress up, cocktails with friends, like delicious food. And I had this vision and I just really focused on it and kept it in mind. And as I used that vision, that was the end of the bridge for me. And just before that, there was all these challenges and hurdles and fear and self-doubt. And I just had to put my blinkers on and focus on my vision for the future and take a leap of faith and fly through it. So I started working on this project, and it is a male-dominated industry, so I worked with a lot of men, and I think they just thought, who is this girl, who is this person telling us that she wants to put a bathtub in a restaurant and a catwalk down the middle of the restaurant and not use all of the space for tables and chairs? You know, it doesn't make sense to us. And there was a lot of negative feedback and lots of people not understanding my vision, and I really had to dig deep and find that self-belief to power through it and reinforce my opinion and not accept no and not accept the way they wanted it to be, but push forward with how I wanted it to be and how I visualized it. So I found that really, really hard, and I had to put a front on all the time, and it took it out of me a lot emotionally, but I knew that all I really had to lose was pride. So I pushed through, and we got to August 2016 and I opened the doors to the restaurant. And that's when the hard work really started, because no business is easy, and whatever you see on social media, there's so many challenges that you face, and there's so many times that you just sit down and think, what am I going to do next? What happens next? How do we get through this? There's always a way to get through it. So we opened the doors, and for the first time, I finally got to have a sense of enjoyment in my job, and I got to relish the hard work and let my imagination run wild. And I think when you start to enjoy what you're doing, that's when things really come together and it all makes sense. So for me, the hard work hasn't stopped, but I've enjoyed every day of it. And it's only because I pushed through that initial fear And now I've learned to sit with fear and to process it and to come up with solutions and to treat it as a normal part of life, because we are human and it's not normal for everything to always be perfect. And I think that's something that we see in the press and social media, but it's just so far from the truth. Life is not about being perfect. It's about experiencing the highs and the lows and dealing with the highs in the same way that you would deal with the lows. Not taking anything too seriously, not believing your own moments of, where people are applauding you, and not believing the moments where people are criticizing you, but just knowing yourself, who you are, and focusing on what's really important, which is enjoying what you do and your family and friends. So for me, that's where I'm up to. So closing the doors in March last year was heartbreaking and very, very difficult to do. And closing the doors again in November last year was also very, very difficult to do. But we had the knowledge of experience, and we knew that it was time then to look at what we were doing and just continue to improve. So I want to say to you that we will reopen our doors. We will be back, as will you. And when we're back, we will all dazzle more than ever. But until that time, stay strong, be brave, hold your head up high, and just believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because there always is. And thank you so much for supporting us and still being here every step of the way with the brand. We really appreciate each and every one of you. I can't tell you how much we do, and we cannot wait to be able to welcome you back into the venue in a safe way as we did previously. We can't wait for that, and we're really looking forward to it. But until then, please take care, and we appreciate all of the support. Thank you so much.